Hi, I'm Amber and I'm the dance development artist for Company Chameleon, a dance company based in Manchester. Hello to anyone who has joined us over the previous weeks, and welcome if this is your first session. I'm sure that we'll have lots of fun together. So in today's session, we are going to be joined by company dancer Dave, and he is going to be seeing you through a warm-up and a phrase of movement, and then he's going to pass back over to me and we're going to finish off with a creative task. Before we get going, make sure that anything you might trip over has been moved out the way and put to the side, and maybe get some water and make sure it's nearby in case you need it, because it's going to be quite physical in today's session. Also, as this is an online session, you are able to pause and rewind as you please, so make sure you do that if you need to. Great, I think we should get going.
Hey there guys, my name is Dave and I'm a dancer with Company Chameleon. I will be leading you for some of today's session before handing you back to the wonderful Amber. As usual guys, if you wouldn't mind just clearing your space for me, make sure that anything you might trip or fall over is pushed to one side. Good idea as well to have a bit of water close by for when you need it. We're going to get going. So, first off, just a little exploration. We're going to play around with the number of contact points that we have with the floor. So, right now, left foot, right foot, I've got 2. If I throw a hand down here, 3, another hand, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1. You get the idea. Really basic stuff. You'll get out of this what you put into it. So really, be honest with yourself. Don't pass through the motions and be like, yeah, this is a 4, this is a 3. We really want to try and be as interesting as possible. So if we know for a fact that we have passed through this position once, try if you can to avoid going through that position again. It's about finding new stuff, new ways of moving in and out of the floor. So I will put some music on, have a play with it at your leisure. Here we go.
Because I don't feel good.
Nice, guys. Really good work. Let's move on. Whew. Fantastic. Okay, now we're a bit warmer. I've got a phrase for you. So, we're going to start by facing our right hand front corner. What we're going to do, elbows go back. As that happens, the front foot comes forwards, as does your chest. Like so. Elbows back, foot and chest come forwards. I'm then going to switch over the elbows and the chest. So the foot stays where it is, the chest goes back, the elbows come forwards, and I'm hollowing out this central space in my torso here, so we make a nice empty gap. Just that much. We're facing our right corner, and we go. Lovely, okay. On the way back here, what I'm going to do is let my back arm go long underneath the front arm, and the front arm is just going to connect onto my neck with my hand, like so. So we step forwards, the chest goes back, the back arm circles long as it does, the front arm finds the neck. Brilliant. The feet are doing something at the same time as that, so we go forward, back, doom, doom, doom. Yeah. Forward, back. I bring the foot that's forward back, I step in front with the back foot, and then step out one more time to find a nice wide parallel position. Once more from the top. Chest goes forwards and back. We return the foot, we step across, we step down. Lovely. Cool, so here guys, I'm thinking about this arm that's connected to my neck pulling me this way. That's the kind of intention you want. As this comes around, it's like I'm being pulled by this hand. As that happens, I want to resist against it with my neck. So we find a nice kind of two-way intensity there. Yes, nice, okay. From here, so we've come down to the front. I'm gonna let the head dive around to the back. So it's going on a nice big curve down into the ground. Like so, I see the front, I keep it going to find the back. From here, I'm rolling over any shoulder you like, it doesn't matter. And then once my feet touch down, I'm shooting out to the back and I'll find a nice plank position. Like so. Let's recap. Right hand corner. The front foot goes forwards. We come back. 1, 2, 3. Let the head go. See the front, see the back. Roll over any shoulder. Find a plank. Brilliant. Okay, from here, I'm going to soften down on my left side. So I'm going to move through this triangle position with my hand, my elbow, my shoulder. On my left side, I soften down. I let my whole back find the floor, and I bring myself up to a kneeling position here. The arm that's trailing behind, I'm not going to bring it in. I'm going to leave it where it is so we get a little bit of suspense into that side. Let me show you again. We've rolled back. I shoot out to long. I soften through my left side. My whole back finds the floor. I leave this hand here so I can immediately shift back into it. We find just a little catch your weight just for a moment to then fall back. I'll add on one more little bit, guys, and then we'll go back to the top. So I let my weight pull back into that hand, and I'm going to step with the far leg first, the far foot, to go 1, 2, 3. As I do, I let that arm circle over the top. Show you once more. I lean into this hand. It's the far foot first. 1, 2, 3. Cool, okay. Let's rewind before we carry on. Right corner. We go forward and back. 1, 2, 3. The head tips. See the front. See the back. Roll over either shoulder. Find a long plank. Soften through the left side. Leave that hand in. To go 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Okay, let's carry on. So with these steps, I'm letting myself get quite twisted. So my last step has already started the journey on behind me as well. So that if I plant the feet, I can just do a complete 360, find the front one more time. From here, we go 1, 2, 3. Keep that journey going to find the front. Lovely. From there, we're not going to stop. The circle keeps on going. The back leg is going to come right around the back in a nice little rond de jambe. It's off the floor. And in the last moment of that, I find a nice ripple through my back to plant both feet. So, from kneeling, we've just rolled across the side. I fall in, 1, 2, 3. See the front, the leg goes to settle. Brilliant. Okay, there's not much left. Let's keep going. So, this leg has come around. From here, I'm stepping on the front leg, and the arm goes with it. 1, 2, 3. So we start off with a nice circular motion here for the first 2 steps, and then when this front foot again steps forward, I change the shape of the motion to jab down to the floor. So we've gone circle, change it. Brilliant. That's sharp. Drive this down. Find a nice sudden moment there. So, as I've brought this arm down, I'm connecting it to the inside edge of my leg. This side to this side. From there, I'm going to grab hold of under the knee and over the top of the ankle. I'm going to shift my weight back to the back leg to find a steady position. Yeah. We've come around to here. The front foot goes sharp down. Grab hold, pull up. Brilliant, okay. From here, both hands, I'm gonna push with. So, see if I can show you from this side. I'm changing the articulation of my hands. So I was gripping, now I'm switching to push with both hands to the front corner. I pull up, I change the hands, I push that leg down to the corner that we were facing at the beginning. As I do that, I send my head to the back with equal force. It's like you got the same amount of energy going 2 opposite directions. Similar idea to when we were here. You got 2 things working against each other. I step and step. So the leg that was up steps behind. I push it, it steps behind, and I step again to drop down into a nice, low, deep, steady second. From there, the arm that's in the front cuts across, and it's going to circle over in a nice little semicircle. The back foot is just going to trail and follow it up and over. Yeah, one more time. So we've pulled up here, change the hands, push that leg, find that second, the front arm goes, the back leg trails. Lovely. Let's recap from the top. There's just a little bit to add on after we have done so. Facing the right side. So we go. 1, 2, 3, pull the head dives down, see the front, see the back, roll over, find a nice long plank, soften into the floor, keep it relaxed. Let the weight fall, 1, 2, 3. So we go. 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. Pull the head, see the front, see the back, either shoulder. Nice long place here, softly into the floor. to let the weight fall. 1, 2, 3. See the front again, the leg goes. Circle, straight down. Grab hold, lift up, push. 1, 2. The arm cuts, the leg follows. Brilliant. Okay guys, you're doing really good. We're almost there. The leg has just come over, like so. Immediately, my back foot is going to step behind, and I'm going to circle the other foot around to find the same place again. So we're going back to that same second, facing the same way. We've come here, the arm goes over, I cut behind to turn, find it exactly the same place, to step behind once more, to kick with the back, it comes behind, last move, the front, swings around. That gets a bit technical with the cuts behind, so let's look at that once again. This is the first time we're here. The front arm cuts across, followed by the foot. We keep going the same way to change direction here, to return back to where we were. Behind again, to kick, behind once more, to drift down. That last moment, guys, so I'm facing the left diagonal, I've got the back foot behind, I'm letting my weight drop, so I'm going to circle this front foot around, but I'm not holding my weight up here. I'm allowing myself to fall in. Obviously, you're falling into the floor. Have your hands ready or you'll smush. Once more, that last bit. The first time we've come to second. The arm goes, the foot follows. Steps behind to find a second again. Behind, kick, behind, round. Lovely. Okay. One more time without music. I'm not going to talk this time. I'm going to do this one in silence and then we'll just go for it with music. So, here we go. Hey, brilliant. Okay, there we go. That's that one. If you need to look at anything again, now is the time to roll back in the video. If not, let's give it a go with the track.
Okay, fantastic. I hope you enjoyed doing that phrase of movement with Dave, but we are not done yet. Now we are going to move on to a creative task, and this one's a little bit different compared to last week's improvisations because we're going to start imagining that we are inside of a bubble. So our bubble is as big as we can reach. So if you put your arms out like this, that is how wide your bubble is. If you put your hands up, that's how tall it is. If you kick your legs, you can probably get that wide as well. And if you spin around, that's how big it is. So, what I want you to do now is pick 4 points in your bubble. So, I can only choose these points within my space. So, 1 point might be at the absolute furthest away point I can reach. But one of the points might be really close by to me. 1 point might be next to my head, One point might be by my foot. It might also be in the back space as well. Don't forget about that area because there's many different points. But I would like you to be really, really specific with where these points are. So rather than just being like, my point's there, number 1, 2, 3, 4, I want you to be able to go, that bit there is exactly my number 1, that bit there is my number 2, and so on. So first thing you need to do is pause the video and locate your 4 points, and then I'm going to test you where they are. Great, so hopefully now you've got 4 points. What I would like you to do now is show me where they are. So if I say point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 2, point 1, point 3, point 4. Great, so if you didn't know where they were, pause the video and make sure you know. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to send a body part to each one of our points. So for me, if my point number 1 is here, I want you to send your left elbow to point number 1. So if mine's here, I might go like this, or I could go upwards, just to make sure that my elbow connects exactly on that point. So you need to figure out how to get your elbow to your point. Have a little play. It might be, if your point is all the way at the top of your bubble, that you can't quite reach it, that's fine, just get as far as you could get. Great. That shouldn't take too long. Hopefully now you've sent your elbow to point 1. Great. Now you can just remember that. Now we're going to go to point 2. And I would like you to take your chin to point 2. So my point 2 is all the way down here. It's still within my bubble, but it's all the way down there. So what I'm going to do is duck down and take my chin to point 2. It would be a bit different if it was high up, I'd have to reach up, or if it was to the side. But have a little play now and figure out how you're going to get your chin to point 2, wherever that is in your bubble. And then go back and just make sure you remember your point number 1. Fantastic. We're going to move on, but if you need a little bit more time, pause the video and make sure you've got those 2 points locked in. Okay, now we are going to take our right heel to point number 3. So obviously our foot's all the way down here, and if your point is all the way at the top, it might be that you have to do a big kick and it'll have to come back down, but that is absolutely fine. So for me, my point number 3 is here in this area, so I need to find a way to get my heel there. There's so many options. I might go up and round, I could go backwards, I could turn, many different options. So now figure out how to get your heel to point number 3. Great, I'm going to go with this one. Have you figured it out? Like I said, just keep pausing the video if you need a little bit more time. I'm just going to make sure I remember all 3 of my points up to now. You might want to do yours too. So let's do it together. Point 1. Point 2. Point 3. Great. Moving on. Point number 4. I would like you to get your left hip to point number 4. So for me, my point number 4 is all the way on the floor, still within my bubble. So about here. So I'm thinking, how am I going to get my hip? This hip I'm going to have to turn, so I'm going to drop down and take my hip down like that. It's really hard when it's doing your hips because your hips are in the middle of your body. So you might have to jump and throw your hips up, but have a little play now and figure out how you're going to get your hips to point number 4, and that is the last of our points. And then go back over it and make sure you've remembered them all. So. Great, let's go through our points together. So are you ready? 5, 6, 7, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Excellent. So we should now have 4 really clear points with our 4 body parts. So the next step now is to find a way to completely link these moves together. So at the minute, mine's quite jerky. I'm like up here, down here, back up, and then on the floor. So I'm going to find a way to make a really fluid transition between the points. You can do this in any way that you want. You might need to add in a turn, you might need to add in a slight lift and a fall. So many different options, but now I need you to pause the video and find a way to make them flow completely. Excellent, so now you should have all of your points linked together. Let's just have a little go twice with our linked movements, and then I'm going to add in some extra instructions. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Brilliant, let's do it one more time so it's fresh in our heads. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to add in some little changes. So for the first one, we're sending our elbow to our point number 1. And if, like me, you probably took it in a really direct route. So my elbow just goes, and it's a really simple, straight route to that point. But now, I would like you to create an indirect route. So, if you were walking to the shop, the quick way would be just go straight there. But if you might want to take a walk through the park, that would count as the indirect route. So it's basically going the long way to get to that point. So as an example, that's what it was, but now I might go up, down, round, and then to the point. And it's really good to have a little experiment. So pause the video and figure out how you're going to get there indirectly. Great. So what I've come up with is my elbow is going to go up, down, side to side, over. Let's do our point number 1 together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. Great. So we've got an indirect point 1. Now we're going to slightly change our point number 2. And instead of going straight to point 2 from point 1, I would like you to melt to point 2. I've got it quite easy because my point 2 with my chin is down there, so it's really easy for me to just find a way to melt and get to my point 2. However, for those of you that have a high up point 2, you need to figure out a way to melt upwards. So it's about looking at that quality. So when something melts, how does it move? It's really oozy, it's really soft, slippery. So have a little play now and figure out your number 2, and then we'll add it on to number 1. Great, hopefully you've got a melty number 2. Let's go from 1 to 2 together. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. So now for number 3, instead of just going straight there, we're going to change it. So I would like you to get to point 3 in slow motion. So as slow as you would like. You might want to start off a bit faster and then go slow. You might want to do it really slow the whole time. Up to you. But pause the video and figure out your slow motion route to point number 3. Fantastic. Let's do it together. So we'll do points 1, 2, and 3. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Last instruction. So to get from point 3 to point 4, I would like you to imagine that you've had an electric shock. So this electric shock can be in the whole body, so a full bodied shock, might be a jump, or it might just be in one part of the body, so electric shock in the arm or the leg. But you need to add in a shock which will land you at your point number 4. So I've finished here. I'm gonna go wash up and find a way to my final point. Great, pause the video and have a little go. Amazing. Let's go all the way through points 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely, I hope you have that. The final little thing that we're going to do now is I would like you to be really, really clear with those points. So even if you've just finished your melting, for mine, I'm still going to make sure my chin lands directly on that point. And that goes for number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So go over it, make sure that, so here it goes exactly on that point. Go through them all, make them really clear, and then we'll do it with some music. Thank you so much for all your hard work in today's session. Myself and Dave absolutely love creating today's session, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. So next week is going to be the final session in our first block of Saturday online sessions, so make sure you come and take part. In the meantime, we still have our ongoing Theatre Thursdays where you can watch our wonderful performances online, which can be found also on our YouTube channel. Also, we have our Challenge Tuesdays where we will be releasing an online challenge and you can take part and send us your creative responses. I'd like to say thank you to the wonderful musicians who have been referenced throughout the video for allowing us to use their music today. But that is it from me, and I look forward to dancing with you next week. Bye!